Remember when I said J. Cole was gonna crown himself the greatest, brag about aging backwards, and still cry about his apology to Kendrick? Well, guess what just dropped on his 41st birthday? A mixtape doing exactly that. Cole stans flooded my comments calling me a hater, saying I didn't understand his spiritual growth. Y'all owe me a public apology because I called this pathetic move play by play, and now I got the receipts to prove it. The Prophet of Pettiness. Before we start, let me set the record straight. 3 weeks ago, I dropped a video breaking down J. Cole's retirement strategy. I said he was going to use the fall-off era to crown himself the greatest rapper alive, claim he's aging backwards like Benjamin Button, and still justify that embarrassing apology to Kendrick. Cole stans went ballistic in my comments. You're just a hater. You don't understand his growth. Cole is above this behavior now. He's matured past needing validation. Well, January 28th, Cole's 41st birthday, he dropped the Prelude mixtape. And the very first song, Bronx Zoo Freestyle, is literally a checklist of everything I predicted he would do. So before we break down these bars, I need apologies from every Cole stan who called me a hater for seeing through your favorite rapper's calculated moves. Because I just became the Nostradamus of hip-hop psychology. I literally called this. Let me remind y'all what I predicted in my last Cole video. 1. He would crown himself as the GOAT during his retirement era. 2. He would use the aging backwards concept to claim he's in his prime at 43. He would still be crying about the apology. 4. He would throw subliminal shots while claiming to be above beef. Now listen to this man rap on Bronx Zoo Freestyle. First name Jermaine and it's goated.
First name Jermaine and it's goated. Never once has fame been a motive.
Literal GOAT declaration. Truly, I'm
aging backwards.
Benjamin Button bars exactly like I said. Apology dropped me way out of the top 3.
Apology dropped me way out of the top 3. No problem.
Still crying about Kendrick. Y'all really thought I was reaching when I said Cole was gonna do exactly this. Where's that same energy from the comments now? Section 2. The Self-coronation ceremony. Let's break down how Cole crowns himself on this track because the audacity is breathtaking. First name Jermaine and it's goated. This man just straight up called himself the greatest of all time. No metaphors, no clever wordplay, just I'm the GOAT at 41 years old. The best verse belongs to the nigga that should live in the Bronx Zoo.
Belongs to the nigga that should live in the Bronx.
He's positioning himself as the apex predator, the king of all rappers, the one so dangerous he belongs in a cage. Y'all toddlers to me.
As hard as the God does, y'all toddlers to me.
Stop bothering me. Every other rapper is a child compared to him. And then the most delusional bar. Young Simba, some niggas threw some hate my way, but only thing they should say is Cole, you like a father to me. Brother, you apologized to Kendrick and removed your diss track. You're not anybody's father. You're the kid who talked tough, then ran home crying when the real bully showed up. But sure, tell us how you're the daddy of hip-hop while still being traumatized by your own cowardice. Section 3. The Aging Backwards Delusion. Here's the exact moment I knew I had predicted his strategy perfectly. Truly, I'm aging backwards. That's it. That's the line. No clever metaphor, no subtle reference, just the literal concept I said he would use to justify calling himself greater now than he was in his prime. Cole is using the Benjamin Button concept to rewrite history. Instead of admitting he's past his peak, he's claiming he's somehow getting better with age, sharper with time, more dangerous as he approaches retirement.
I was trailing right behind and I just now hit mine.
He just hit his prom.
Now I'm front of the line with a comfortable lead.
Comfortable lead? Kendrick, he's violating, good brother.
See, me personally, Kendrick, I would never take that level of disrespect, okay?
I run it, soon as I got it, now he wants something with me.
Damn.
When you call me at the perfect time, jump up and see.
He said jump up and see. Kendrick Lamar's like 5'7".
But here's the problem with that logic. If you're aging backwards and getting better, why are you retiring? If you're in your prime at 41, why not stay and prove it against the current competition? Because the aging backwards thing is just psychological manipulation to make retirement look like choice instead of necessity. It's a way to leave without admitting you can't hang with Kendrick, Drake, or the next generation. Section 4. Still crying about the apology. This might be the most pathetic part of the whole song. 8 months after apologizing to Kendrick, Cole is still rapping about it. Apology dropped me way out of the top 3. No problem, I'm probably my best when they doubt me. / watch me, watch me, watch me. Let me get this straight. You claim you're aging backwards and getting better, but you still dwelling on an apology you made almost 2 years ago. That's not moving forward, that's being stuck in the past. And that watch me, watch me, watch me at the end, that's not confidence, that's desperation.
Doubt me, watch me, watch me.
That's a man who knows his reputation took a hit and he's still trying to repair it. If you're really over the apology, if you're really securing your decision, if you really believe it was spiritual growth, why are you still talking about it on new music? That's like your ex saying, I'm so over our relationship, while posting Instagram stories about you every day. You're not over it, you're obsessed with it. Section 5. The sneak diss, contradiction. Now here's where Cole's fake maturity really shows his cracks. Throughout this song, he throws subliminal shots while pretending to be above direct beef. The K's pop like Asian rappers. This is potentially referencing K-Dot in the Pop-Out show, suggesting Kendrick's popularity is manufactured like K-pop. I hate these rappers like I'm Charleston White. General disdain for his peers, but said through a comparison instead of direct confrontation. So let me understand this. You're too spiritually evolved to beef directly with Kendrick, but you're not too mature to throw subliminal shots on a mixtape? You apologize for dissing Kendrick because it went against your spiritual growth, but you'll sneak diss him on a freestyle? Pick a personality, Jermaine. Either you're the mature, peace-loving guru who's above beef, or you're the competitive rapper who throws shots. You can't be both depending on what's convenient for your image. Section 6. The Contradiction Masterclass. Let's count all the ways Cole contradicts himself on just this one song. Claims to be aging backwards, but is still dwelling on 8-month-old decisions. Says he's the father figure of rap, but acts petty toward his peers. Talks about being humble while literally calling himself the GOAT. Says he's motivated by doubt, but clearly bothered by criticism. Claims spiritual maturity while throwing subliminal disses. Says respect comes first while disrespecting other rappers as toddlers. This isn't complex artistry. This is a man who can't keep his story straight because he's trying to be everything to everyone. You can't be the humble guru and the arrogant king.
Come on! Amazon Prime, my nigga! It's delivered at your door!
To find deliveries as good as mine, you gotta search Primes.
Prime rap styles, like the best of the best.
Hoping that peace comes to my cursed mind.
Merch.
Absurd times where the fake get told it is wise.
That's right there. The fake get told it is wise. Talk!
I can see hating both for your eyes, but the third's blind. So you search lines, but you struggle with your...
Tough.
I can see hate in both of your eyes, but the third's blind. You need to be cleansed.
You can't be above beef and still throwing shots. You can't claim growth while exhibiting the same ego-driven behavior. Section 7. Cole stands. Where's my apology? Now, to all the Cole stans who flooded my comments calling me a hater, saying I didn't understand his evolution, claiming he was above this type of behavior, where's that energy now? I said Cole would crown himself. He rapped, first name Jermaine and is goated. I said he'd claim to be aging backwards. He rapped, truly, I'm aging backwards. I said he'd still be crying about the apology. He rapped, apology dropped me way out of the top 3. I said he'd throw subliminals while claiming maturity. He did exactly that. Y'all called me a hater for predicting behavior that Cole literally exhibited. Some of y'all owe me the same energy y'all gave me when I broke down his psychological patterns. He's grown past this. He's more mature now. You don't understand his journey. Understand what? A 40-year-old man calling other rappers toddlers while still being traumatized by his own apology? That's not growth. That's regression with better vocabulary. Section 8. The bigger picture. Here's what y'all need to understand. This mixtape isn't random birthday content. This is the preview for what the Fall Off album will really be. Not a humble retirement where Cole gracefully exits the game. Not a mature reflection on his career and legacy. It's going to be a self-written victory lap where he crowns himself the greatest while justifying every controversial decision he's made. The aging backwards concept is his insurance policy. Instead of admitting he might be past his peak, he's claiming this is his peak. That way, retiring at 40 looks like leaving at the top instead of leaving before he gets exposed. It's brilliant marketing disguised as spiritual awakening. He's controlling the narrative before the album even drops, setting up the story he wants people to tell about his career.
So you got some expensive watches,
Got
jewelry.
expensive watches, jewelry. I don't have. I sold my car. I had a Range at one point. I sold it. I ride a bike now.
Do you really? You have no cars?
I don't have a car. No.
No more car, just a bike.
Car. Yeah.
Y'all thought I was done exposing J. Cole's predictable behavior?
Psych! That's the wrong number!
Song number 2 on his birthday mixtape
Another one. DJ Khaled!
just dropped more evidence. This man is so desperate to crown himself that he's literally calling himself the best nigga still breathing while throwing shots at Drake's streaming numbers and still crying about his beef history. Cole stands. Where are those apologies? Because your boy just gave me even more receipts.
Keep going.
The evidence keeps mounting. I just finished breaking down how J. Cole's first song proved every prediction I made about his retirement strategy. Called himself the GOAT, bragged about aging backwards, still cried about his Kendrick apology. But apparently, Cole wasn't done embarrassing himself. Song number 2, Golden Goose Freestyle, is somehow even more delusional. This man is so insecure about his legacy that one song wasn't enough to convince himself he's still relevant. Let me walk you through how Cole managed to be even more pathetic on the second track than he was on the first. More GOAT delusions. Cole opens this track with, "Nah, I'm on top, you can't knock me off my spot." Brother, you apologized to Kendrick and removed your diss track 8 months ago. What top are you talking about? The top of the rappers who back down from battles list? But it gets worse. He follows up with, "Best nigga still breathing, leaving no confusion." The best nigga still breathing. This is a 40-year-old man who apologized his way out of a battle, calling himself the best rapper alive. The cognitive dissonance is staggering. And then he has the audacity to say, "Only then will I split like I co-produced it," meaning he won't retire until the whole world acknowledges his greatness. So let me get this straight. You're planning to retire, but you won't retire until everyone calls you the greatest? That's not confidence, that's holding your own career hostage for validation. The feature run, Cope. Here comes my favorite delusional bar. Hop on every nigga song, abuse it. Cole is bragging about his feature run like it's proof he's the best rapper alive. But let me explain what a feature run actually means in 2025. It means you're picking your spots carefully instead of going head to head with elite competition. It's easy to abuse someone else's song when you get to choose which battles to fight. Kendrick and Drake are out here going at each other directly, trading full diss tracks, putting their legacies on the line. Meanwhile, Cole is jumping on Jid and 21 Savage tracks, outshining artists who aren't trying to compete with him lyrically, then calling that proof he's the best alive. That's like a heavyweight boxer beating up middleweights and claiming he's the champion. You're not proving greatness, you're proving you know how to pick easy fights. The subliminal shots at Drake. Now this is where Cole's fake maturity really shows. He's throwing obvious shots at Drake while maintaining plausible deniability. If the streams say you're winning, why your tours is losing? This is clearly referencing Drake's recent tour struggles while his streaming numbers stay high. Cole is basically calling Drake's success artificial. That means the bots is boosting, accusing Drake of using bots to inflate his numbers. Cut the tough guy image, it is not conducive to breathing. Telling Drake to stop acting tough or he might get hurt. But here's what's hilarious about this. Cole is taking shots at Drake for streaming manipulation and tough guy posturing, but he's doing it through subliminals on a mixtape instead of direct confrontation. You claim Drake's tough guy image is fake, but you won't say his name directly because you're scared of the smoke that comes with real beef. At least Drake's fake tough guy image includes actually engaging in battles. Your fake tough guy image includes apologizing and hiding behind subliminals. Here's the line that proves Cole is still traumatized by his own cowardice. Cole has seen more beef than the folks at Ruth's Chris. still talking about beef. 8 months after apologizing to Kendrick, this man is still trying to convince people he's battle tested. But what beef has Cole actually seen? The Lil Pump situation where he lectured a teenager?
Wow, you get so much props. You just a 17-year-old.
The brief Kendrick exchange where he immediately apologized? Some subliminal shots at various artists over the years. Ruth's Chris serves steaks, Jermaine. You serve apologies with a side of regret. Stop trying to rewrite history about your battle resume when we all watched you fold under pressure. The streaming versus touring hypocrisy. Cole goes after Drake about streaming numbers not matching tour attendance, but let's examine Cole's own numbers.
South can be at the top outside of J. Cole. Like, cause Cole is like he's low-key the real king of Southern hip hop.
Stop.
He made it to the highest. Did he not make it to the highest point?
Talk that talk.
Did he not make it to the highest point?
Yeah.
Why you feel that way?
Did he not make it to the highest point?
I'm from the Carolinas, but come on.
Did he not make it to the? So you know he made it to the highest point.
Did T.I. not make it to the highest point?
What's the highest
Did
point?
Outkast not make it to the highest point?
Tip ain't make it high, bro.
What?
Cash don't count there.
So wait, what's the #1 movie and album in?
Drake, despite his tour struggles, is still selling way more tickets than Cole ever has. Even at his lowest, Drake's tours do numbers Cole can't touch at his peak. So Cole is essentially saying, your fake success is bigger than my real success, and I'm mad about it. That's not the flex you think it is, Jermaine. Criticizing someone for having more fake success than your real success just highlights how much smaller your actual impact is. The no stain on my name lie. Cole claims there'll never be a stain on my name. Brother, you apologized to Kendrick Lamar in front of thousands of people at your own festival. That's not a stain. That's a permanent tattoo of cowardice on your reputation. You can rap about it, reframe it, psychoanalyze it, and spiritualize it all you want. At the end of the day, when hip-hop history is written, there's a chapter called The Time J. Cole Backed Down from Kendrick Lamar. That's your stain, and no amount of birthday mixtapes is gonna wash it off. The celebrity contradiction. I despise my celebrity. I ain't into fame. Then why are you making mixtapes begging people to recognize you as the greatest? Why are you upset that your apology dropped you out of the top 3? Why are you demanding the world acknowledge your greatness before you retire? You can't despise celebrity while desperately seeking validation from that same celebrity culture. You can't hate fame while making music about how famous and respected you deserve to be. Pick a lane. Either you're the humble artist who doesn't care about recognition, or you're the competitive rapper fighting for your spot in history. You can't be both depending on what's convenient for your argument. The mathematical breakdown. Let's do some math that actually matters. Cole claims Drake's math ain't mathin' with his streaming versus touring numbers. But let's look at Cole's math. Claims to be the best alive. Wrong, just apologize to Kendrick. Claims to be aging backwards. Wrong, still dwelling on 8-month-old decisions. Claims to have no stain on his name. Wrong, the apology is literally documented. Claims to despise fame. Wrong, making music demanding recognition. Your math isn't mathing either, Jermaine. The only difference is Drake's fake numbers are bigger than your fake confidence. The prediction vindication continues. Remember what I predicted Cole would do. 1. Crown himself during retirement check. Best nigga still breathing. 2. Brag about his abilities check. Feature run bars. 3. Still process the apology check. Beef references. 4. Throw subliminals check. Drake shots throughout. 2 songs in, and Cole is batting 1.000 on proving my psychological analysis was accurate. This man is so predictable that I could probably write his next verse for him. Addressing Cole stans again. Cole stans, I need y'all to be honest with yourselves for a moment. Is this the mature, evolved Cole you were defending in my comments? A 40-year-old man calling himself the best nigga still breathing while throwing subliminal shots at Drake and still referencing his beef history? Y'all said Cole was above this behavior. Y'all said he'd grown past needing validation. Y'all said I was a hater for predicting exactly this type of content. But here he is, doing exactly what I said he would do, exhibiting exactly the psychological patterns I identified. J. Cole named his retirement album The Fall Off.
Still in this bitch getting bigger, they waiting on the kid to come drop like a father to be. From that bass in your trunk, the bullet that miss Trump, the gunna jam, cause it seems God
is about to pull off the greatest exit strategy in hip-hop history, crown himself in his prime, write his own legacy documentary, and disappear before anyone can challenge the narrative. Today I'm breaking down why Cole's endgame isn't about proving he's the greatest. It's about never letting us see if he actually isn't. The ultimate exit strategy. Picture this. You're playing pickup basketball. You're having a decent game, some good shots, some solid plays, holding your own with the better players. Then right when the competition is about to get serious, right when the real ballers are about to test you, you announce, "That's game for me, y'all. I'm going out on top." That's exactly what J. Cole is doing with The Fall Off. This isn't just a retirement album. This is the most calculated exit strategy hip-hop has ever seen. Cole is trying to be the Tim Duncan of rap, disappear quietly with a championship ring, except he wrote the ring ceremony himself. The question isn't whether Cole is talented enough to be in the GOAT conversation. The question is, should we respect a legend who retires before letting us see if the legend is actually true? Because when you study Cole's recent moves, from Port Antonio to Disc 2 to his insane features run, it all looks like evidence building for a case he's about to present to the court of public opinion before walking out of the courtroom forever. The master plan. Crown yourself, then clock out. Here's Cole's endgame, and it's brilliant in its simplicity. Step 1. Make an album about decline and aging. Step 2. Use that album to prove you never actually declined. Step 3. Crown yourself as still being in your prime. Step 4. Retire on Respect My Decision timing before anyone can test that claim. It's not about falling off. It's about never letting us see if he would. Think about it. If Cole drops The Fall Off, spends the entire project explaining why he's actually sharper than ever, then retires while he's still getting praise for lyrical ability, what can critics say? He wasn't that good? Too late, he already quit. He would have declined eventually? Speculation. He never stayed long enough to find out. He ducked the real competition? He's retired now. That conversation is over. Cole is essentially trying to end his career on a highlight reel he created himself, then walking away before anyone can add lowlights to the compilation. Port Antonio, Benjamin Button bars, and damage control. Let's start with Port Antonio, which was supposedly Cole's apology and cleanup track after the whole Drake/Kendrick situation. But listen to what Cole actually does on this track. He apologizes for like 30 seconds, then spends the rest of the song explaining why he's actually better than ever.
They instigate the fuckery because it's profitable. The singers stop the violence tunes with dudes in hospitals.
They saying, hey, stop the violence. Soon as somebody get killed or in the hospital, we screaming, stop the violence. Boy, we guilty. I'm guilty of that. I'ma hold myself accountable. I'm one of the ones that want the rap beef. And I'm the same nigga that don't want nobody to get killed also. It don't work like that. I gotta pick a side, right?
First of all, Drake and Kendrick, nothing happened. It was just lyrical warfare. That's what we want. We just want to try to go back and forth lyrically. That's it.
I put the blood because I seen where that was about to go. They wanted blood, they wanted clicks to make their pockets grow. They see this fire.
Shut up, Cole. You know that we're not making nothing on this shit. Join Patreon, bitch.
I'm reacting regardless. You might claim this shit. I'm good. I just like the music sometimes. It is what it is.
In my pen and think I'm dodging smoke. I would've lost the battle, dog. I would've lost the bro.
You wouldn't.
I would've gained the phone.
Oh, you wouldn't have. He ain't keeping it a stack, bro. You're not keeping it a one. You're not keeping it a hundo, bro. You're not keeping it a hundo, dog. Because if y'all would have went, it wouldn't have been personal, fam.
And all for what? Just to attain some old props from strangers that don't got a clue what I've been aiming for since the age of 14.
We listen to y'all raps, and a lot of y'all raps be like, what's up? I've heard you on a few tracks, Mr. Cole. Like, niggas don't want this smoke for real. Kendrick is in songs with Baby Keem saying he was smoking on top 5s. And when Drake raps, I feel like y'all giving out subliminals of, yo, I shut a nigga down. So now when the smoke is here,
Now you're trying to come here and clean this shit up, trying to be all, you know, kumbaya Cole and shit when you wasn't on that fucking type of time up until this point.
it's not really us. We are instigating. Let's keep it about. We are instigating. But it's y'all and y'all lyrics.
Jermaine is no king if that means I gotta dig up dirt and pay the whole team of algorithm bot niggas just to sway the whole thing on social media.
Hold on. What the other two niggas doing now?
The whole narrative was Drake was out here paying people to get information on Kendrick.
She said niggas is buying shit. Kendrick, you buying shit?
Bots and all these streaming numbers.
Trying to go #1.
Doing all this crazy stuff. It got real dirty. It became like a novella, you know, a whole soap opera. And he said, I didn't want to get into that.
Competing for your favorable memes to be considered best to live in.
So he's speaking to some tea.
I don't know who you throwing shade at no more. Who you throwing shade at? Both of them?
You teaching them a lesson.
Rest, the weight of both things. I understand the thirst to being first that made them both swing, protecting legacies. So lines got crossed by.
Oh my God.
Perhaps regrettably, my friends went to who I walked away with all they blood on me. Now some will discredit me, try to wipe away my pedigree, but please.
Some will discredit me, try to wipe away my pedigree.
I would never. I still think you one of the greatest. I still think you one of the best rappers in terms of pure rapping too. Even in this, I feel like you're displaying high level of talent.
The way this nigga be rhyming like this remind you that this still cold, nigga. It's still a cold world.
Just find a nigga out there that's rapping this incredibly
I mean, like he said what I'm saying.
We can't find somebody rapping this incredibly. We can't. The best you can hope to do is tie, and there's not too many human beings tying it. This is unfathomable.
Next to me, I share the words he said to me. If you refuse to shoot the gun, don't mean the gun ain't deadly. I guess in that metaphor,
So my dog text me and say, hey,
You refuse to shoot the gun.
Don't mean that gun ain't deadly.
That's debatable. If you refuse to shoot the gun, you ain't got nothing. If I load this chopper and I'm not gonna shoot it, it's not really nothing now. It's a big toy. And if my opponent know I'm not gonna shoot it, that's nothing deadly about that gun. But that's just me.
Hypothetically, the gun is me. I text her back like, guess a gun ain't what I'm trying to be, my nigga.
I guess a gun ain't what I'm trying to be, dog. Just because the gun don't fire don't mean the gun's not deadly.
The Benjamin Button bar is the perfect example. Benjamin Button, Cold Flow's reverse time slash. To find deliveries good as mine, you gotta search primes.
I ain't stopping this motion. In fact, you can't stop this motion. I'm gonna keep dropping banger after banger.
Benjamin Button, Cold Flow's reverse time to find delivery.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Shoot, that boy's a genius. I love it.
To find deliveries good as mine, you gotta search primes. I'm scared of heights higher than birds can perch, trying to be something.
Come on! Amazon Prime, my nigga! It delivered at your door!
To find deliveries as good as mine, you gotta search primes.
Prime rap styles, like the best of the best.
Only J. Cole could apologize for backing down from a battle, then immediately tell you his pen is aging backwards. This man said, sorry I folded, and, by the way, I'm lyrically reversing time in the same breath. This isn't just damage control, it's the first brick in his late career prime narrative. He's positioning his current self as better than his younger self, which sets up the perfect story for the fall off. If Cole's getting better with age, then retiring at 40 isn't about decline, it's about choosing to leave at the peak of his powers. Disc 2, literally rewinding his own documentary. Then comes Disc 2, where Cole takes the reverse time concept and applies it to his entire life story. The song starts with his funeral and moves backwards through his career, his relationships, his childhood, all the way back to his birth. It's like he's narrating his own obituary, but in reverse. Only J. Cole would make a song that plays his life backwards, just to prove even his death would have good storytelling. But here's what's really happening. This isn't mixtape energy. This is retirement speech energy. Cole is already thinking about how his story will sound when it's over, not how to keep fighting for new chapters. When your song structure is, what if I died, and we rewind to see how dope the journey was, you're not talking like an active player. You're talking like somebody editing their own Last Dance document.
And look at the video. The video dope, by the way.
You know how crazy it is to see your life in reverse, though?
The video look like it's going backwards.
Purpose is clear as to murk. Whoever dare flirt with death, the best alive. What you now hear is the word.
Did I just hear him say best alive?
Years I got birth to the year. My purpose is clear as to murk. Whoever dare flirt with death, the best alive. What you now hear is the word. The inspiration was rare.
Okay, so there go the bars. He said he gonna keep talking that shit.
Okay, so the visual is super crazy.
Fucking hell, this video is amazing already.
I loved how it's like a pull out of his life, and even they're putting the roses in the casket, the changing of the different angles. You know, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room. We gotta talk about the 500-pound pink elephant in the room.
This man said, best alive, my purpose in here is to murk.
The best alive. There's gonna be people like, hey, can we just, It's like, yeah, we can move on if he did. You dig? But anytime you say that, I don't care how you feel, I don't care what comment you're gonna type. Yeah, that's just, it feels tone deaf.
Watching my son disappear as I stare at his birth.
Still fucking living it backwards somehow.
Days later, I don't care to convert.
Nate says he don't care to convert them, so it is what it is. Fuck him. Hey, hold on. I feel like you pointed at me. Cause I am one of them Nate haters. I think you pointed at me. I'm gonna need you to relax. You can convert however you want to convert. You're gonna need to freaking relax. I'm one of the naysayers because I'm just making sure you don't say nothing about battling. You already pissed me off with the best alive and murking, but we gonna let it slide for a little bit, Cole.
This is amazing.
My overall aspect of this, you know, even with the few little things I said about the bars, this is an immaculate piece of art.
Every part of his life that he rapped about, notice how everything changed.
All right, so we did the whole thing from in your coffin, and then 60 years back, you was saying you was the best you ever, you was alive, you was the best ever with the verse of the year, and you about to be here to murk, and then, you know what I mean, you went all the way to being married, and then the birth, and then in the club, and then back to you seeing your freaking your dad and your mother cutting on the lights, and I think you was going in your mom purse when you was little, and then you're going all the way back into your mom womb, and your spirit is in reverse. I got you. Okay, all right.
I promise you, it don't matter how the story is told. I think at the end you still gonna be like, damn. Like he could have told it the other way around, and you would have been like, damn.
The fall off is inevitable.
Clouds. I'm old, but don't call me washed. Clouds opens with Cole basically admitting that time is catching up to him, that he's feeling the weight of age and experience. Cole hit that age where getting out of bed is a bar, but he still wants you to know he's dangerous on a beat. But watch how he handles the aging conversation. He admits time is moving, but immediately rejects that.
He knows.
Let's go. New J. Cole.
J. Cole decided to drop a song on Thursday night.
J. Cole is back at it from out of nowhere like Randy Orton's
Clouds.
It's another than clouds.
Let's get it.
Let's hop into it.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
So far, this is a vibe.
Yeah, first off the back. I gotta get my off the back soundboard. Off the back, this beat is banging.
Yeah, that man J. Cole just turned 40 years old a couple weeks ago, January 28th. Obviously the title of the track that he made back in 2014. It's called January 28th. So that man just turned 40 years old. That man is officially unk status.
Look, gray hairs, I'm aging. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Drake, pay attention. This is grown folks music right here.
And then recede, I'm C4 beneath your Jeep.
40 years old, it's still dominating. Obviously, the whole top 3 thing, of course, started to set this whole thing off. But
boy, I work smarter and harder. My style.
Chico Depot, yeah. This is one of the ones, y'all.
The murder charges turn artists to martyr.
No, I'm sorry. He just punched in those E-sound and rhyme schemes. He had like 20 just condensed literally into like 4 or 5 bars. That was crazy.
Caught a lot of murder charges, turned artists to martyrs. So this is J. Cole on this, back on his, yo, if any rapper want it, they can get it. Da, da, da. Obviously, a lot of people are going to find issue with this after J. Cole apologized to Kendrick, like he done showed he didn't want to smoke, which I don't blame Cole for. A lot of people thought it was a bad move for Cole to do that. I thought it was a good move. I mean, look what happened to Drake, but I know some people are going to take issue with that bar.
I caught a lot of murder charges turn artists to martyrs.
We forgetting between all this nonsense that's going on, some of it's good, that he was, from feature to feature to feature to feature, he was doing damage.
He's getting older, but his pen isn't getting weaker. He basically made a song saying, "My knees hurt, but my bars don't." This keeps the door open for his old man in his prime narrative, while acknowledging the reality that Father Time is undefeated. It's honest about the challenge, while rejecting the assumption of decline. What's interesting about Clouds is how it preemptively addresses the criticism that will come with the fall off. By admitting age affects him physically while claiming it sharpens him mentally, Cole is setting up the perfect defense. I'm not running from decline, I'm retiring while I'm still sharp. But notice what he doesn't address. Whether his hunger is still there, whether he still has something to prove, whether he can compete with younger, hungrier rappers who grew up studying his playbook. The features run, building the evidence file. Now let's talk about Cole's insane features run over the past few years. Every time a new wave rapper needed saving, Cole showed up like a lyrical locksmith. 21 Savage's A Lot, JID's Off D's, Boss's Tribe, Ari Lennox's records, Benny the Butcher's tracks. This man turned into the substitute teacher that keeps embarrassing the whole class on their own songs. But here's what this run really represents. It's his evidence package for the fall off. Cole doesn't have to convince you he never fell off. He just points to years of features where he consistently outshined younger artists on their own tracks. This is his cheat code. I might not drop the most projects, but every time I step in the booth, I remind you why you can't say I declined. When the fall off drops and Cole argues he's still in his prime, the features run becomes Exhibit A in his defense. But let's talk about what the features run doesn't prove. That he can carry an entire album at that level. That he can sustain that energy for a full project. That he can dominate when he's the main event rather than the special guest. It's easy to go crazy on a feature. You get 16 bars, you're fresh, you have one job. Try maintaining that intensity for 12 to 15 tracks while also creating cohesive themes, memorable hooks, and replay value. The features run is impressive, but it's also strategic. Cole is showing up when he's most dangerous, short bursts, other people's beats, no pressure to carry the song, and using that to argue he's still elite overall. The Dreamville shield, hiding behind the collective. Let's talk about something Cole doesn't get enough criticism for, using Dreamville as both a legacy builder and a shield. On one hand, Cole building his own label and putting on for artists like JID, Boss, Ari Lennox, and others is genuinely commendable. He's created opportunities and platform for talented artists. But let's be honest about what Dreamville also does for Cole. It lets him participate in the culture without putting his own neck on the line. When Dreamville does well, Cole gets credit as the visionary leader. When Dreamville artists drop mid-projects, Cole is insulated. He's just the boss, not the artist who failed. The Revenge of the Dreamers sessions are the perfect example. Cole curated these massive collaborative projects where he could shine without having to carry the whole thing. If the project is dope, he's the mastermind. If it's disappointing, well, it was a group effort. Cole has found a way to be both the main event and the supporting cast, depending on what the moment requires. It's brilliant business, but it's also a hedge against failure. And now with the fall off, he can point to Dreamville as evidence of his impact beyond just his solo career. I Built Something Bigger Than Me is a great legacy narrative, but it also conveniently diverts attention from whether his solo work actually earned him the GOAT status he's claiming. Avoiding the real smoke, ducking the GOAT war. Here's where Cole's strategy gets really calculated. Instead of going toe-to-toe in the Kendrick/Drake era, he found a way to set his legacy around the war, not inside it. Think about the sequence. Cole steps into the Drake/Kendrick battle, throws shots at Kendrick, immediately apologizes and backs out, then disappears from the conflict entirely. But then, months later, he drops introspective music about how he's actually still the most dangerous rapper alive. He just chose peace over violence.
I'm that bass in your trunk, the bullet that missed Trump, the gun that jammed, cause it seemed God had other plans.
What the fuck, Chad?
The bass in your trunk, the bullet that missed Trump, the gun that jammed cause it seemed gun had other plans.
Listen to these bars from J. Cole's Clouds and tell me this isn't the most layered confession in hip-hop. I'm that bass in your trunk, the bullet that missed Trump / the gun that jammed cause it seemed God had other plans. On the surface, Cole is just flexing his impact. He's the bass that hits hard, the bullet that could have changed everything. But dig deeper, and this becomes his entire Drake/Kendrick situation wrapped in one metaphor. Think about it. Cole is comparing himself to a bullet that almost hit its target, but didn't because of divine intervention. Sound familiar? That's exactly what happened with 7 Minute Drill. He loaded up, aimed at Kendrick, pulled the trigger, then claimed God told him to retract the shot. But here's where Cole gets really slick. By using the Trump assassination attempt as his metaphor, he's saying his diss could have been just as devastating, just as culture shifting, just as dangerous. The man is literally comparing his pulled Kendrick diss to a bullet that almost killed a former president. The audacity is insane. Cole steps out of a battle, apologizes publicly, claims it was about spiritual growth and maintaining friendships, then drops bars suggesting he was actually so dangerous that God had to intervene to prevent the damage he would have caused. That's not humility. That's the most arrogant way possible to explain why you back down from a fight. Cole found a way to make his retreat sound like divine protection for his opponents. Some fans call this genius wordplay, exactly what it is. A sneak diss disguised as spiritual reflection. Cole gets to have it both ways, publicly taking the high road while privately suggesting he was too lethal for the culture's own good. Either way, Clouds proves that even Cole's apologies come with subliminal shots attached.
You all about the music. You going off the internet.
I'm not going off the internet. I'm talking.
Pause gotta go back on where
I'm talking about hip hop, right? So what I'm saying to you is, you guys were fucking miniature compared to 50 Cent just sold 30 million records. You went at him. You went to the yard with your sworn.
Answering your own question.
What's that?
He could sell 100 million. The bars and the power of the people in the street made all of that shit irrelevant.
He didn't come outside to
Whether that
Jada.
humility is real or strategic. A truly humble rapper doesn't constantly remind you they're part of the big three. A truly humble rapper doesn't drop songs explaining why they're aging backwards lyrically. A truly humble rapper doesn't name their retirement album The Fall Off specifically to argue they haven't fallen off. Cole's humility is performative. It's designed to make you feel bad for criticizing him while he quietly asserts his dominance. It's brilliant, but it's not genuine. The conscious rapper label also protects him from having to engage in the messier parts of hip-hop. Beefs? I'm too mature for that. Chart battles? I care about the art, not the numbers. Direct competition? I don't need to prove anything. It's a strategy that lets him avoid tests while claiming moral superiority for avoiding them. The stands versus the people who can read. Now let's talk about the two types of Cole fans, because this distinction matters. Real Cole fans understand he's genuinely talented, but they also see the safe moves, the calculated PR, and the strategic timing of everything he does. Cole stans will see a song about paying taxes and write a 3-paragraph comment about how this proves he's better than Kendrick. The difference is crucial because the fall off is ultimate stan fuel. It gives them a complete narrative, reverse time storytelling, legacy talk, feature run dominance, to argue Cole is the GOAT without him actually sticking around to get tested by the next generation. He doesn't have to prove he's the greatest. His delusional stans are already finishing the essay for him, and retirement means no one can add a rebuttal. Cole has mastered the art of cultivating a fan base that will defend his legacy more aggressively than he ever had to earn it. They'll cite his features as proof of dominance, his albums as proof of consistency, and his retirement as proof of wisdom.
The fall off, 2-6-26, the real is back. If Cole is the GOAT, ain't leaving your lips. Don't you ever bother opening them again. Jermaine. He rapped his story in reverse. The video was going backwards. What do you know about the Ville? Why are you in my house? Boy, don't play with me right now, boy. Jermaine! The fall off out February 6th. That page is blank. Cause you should already know the real is back. Jermaine!
The title trick, owning the narrative. Let's talk about the genius of calling his retirement project The Fall Off. By naming his album after the concept of decline, Cole is doing something brilliant. He's controlling the conversation before it starts. That's like quitting your job and telling everybody you got promoted on the way out. If Cole drops The Fall Off, spends the entire album explaining why he's actually at his peak, then retires, any future decline narrative looks late and irrelevant. He already addressed it in the music. Y'all said I was a hater for predicting exactly this type of content. But here he is, doing exactly what I said he would do, exhibiting exactly the psychological patterns I identified. Where's that same energy from the comments now? The bigger delusion. What makes this even sadder is that Cole genuinely believes his own hype. This isn't calculated marketing. This is a man who has convinced himself that his retirement strategy is actually proof of his greatness. He really thinks that calling himself the GOAT while preparing to leave makes him look confident instead of desperate. He really thinks that bragging about features while avoiding direct competition makes him look elite instead of strategic. The delusion is so complete that he's making music to convince himself as much as his audience. These aren't victory laps. These are therapy sessions disguised as flexes. The psychological profile update. After 2 songs, here's the updated Cole psychological profile. Severe need for validation disguised as confidence. Inability to process career setbacks, still talking about the apology. Projection of his own insecurities onto others, accusing Drake of fake success. Contradiction between stated values and actual behavior. Using retirement as leverage for recognition instead of artistic completion. This is textbook insecurity with a college vocabulary. And Cole stans are calling it lyrical maturity. The receipts keep coming. So there you have it. 2 songs into Cole's birthday mixtape, and every prediction I made is getting proven right in real time. Cole stans, I'm still waiting for those apologies. Y'all called me a hater for accurately diagnosing behavior that your favorite rapper is now exhibiting exactly as I predicted. To everyone else, this is what happens when you understand psychology better than the person you're analyzing. Cole is so trapped in his own patterns that he can't see how predictable he's become. The fall-off era isn't about artistic vision. It's about a 40-year-old man having a midlife crisis with a microphone, desperately trying to convince everyone, including himself, that leaving the game is a choice rather than necessity. And I saw it coming from a mile away. Drop those apologies in the comments, Cole stans. The prophet of pettiness just went 2 for 2 on predicting your favorite rapper's psychological breakdown. Because when you understand the game, you don't just see the moves, you see the insecurity driving them. And J. Cole's insecurity is louder than his bars. Until next time, keep your predictions accurate and your psychological reads sharper than the artist you're analyzing. The receipts don't lie, and neither do I.